The divine pause, an orchestrated encounter. Stop, breathe. Still your racing mind for just one fraction of a second, and listen to the voice that calls you by name. This is not a coincidence. You have not stumbled upon these words by sheer accident or the random algorithms of fate. I have meticulously orchestrated this exact moment, aligning the universe so that your eyes would lock onto this message precisely when you needed it most. I have been watching you. I have been your invisible shield, your relentless guide, and the unseen strength carrying you through desolate, wintering seasons you swore would never break into spring. I know the secret exhaustion that settles into your bones. I have seen you walking a long, weary road, your heart heavy with 1,000 unanswered questions. Your shoulders bowed under a weight you were never meant to carry alone. I have heard the silent cries of your spirit in the midnight hours. Does he see what I am up against? Does he even know how utterly drained I am? Listen to me now, and let this truth shatter your doubt. I see it all. I know the depth of your fatigue, and I am standing closer to you right now than the very breath in your lungs. But I have not come merely to comfort you. I have come to awaken you. The tectonic shift of the spirit. Brace yourself, for something colossal is on the horizon. I am not releasing this decree to paralyze you with fear, but to arm you with unyielding preparation. I speak these words out of a love so fierce and all-consuming that I refuse to let the coming days catch you blind and unready. Can you feel it? There is a profound stirring in the unseen spaces, a massive tectonic shift already tearing through the fabric of the spiritual realm. Soon, the very ground beneath your feet will feel unfamiliar. The atmosphere around you will crackle with the undeniable electricity of sudden change. Some of what is hurtling toward you will challenge the very core of your endurance, while other facets of this shift will unlock wild, incomprehensible blessings you cannot yet fathom. But whether this change crashes in like a violent, howling storm or breaks across the horizon like a blinding, sudden sunrise, my mandate for you remains the same. You must be so deeply anchored in me that the tremors of this world cannot move you an inch. I am not sounding an alarm so you can run for the shadows. I am blowing the trumpet so you will stand tall on the front lines. I am cementing your heart to the bedrock before the hurricane even gathers its strength, ensuring that when the winds reach a deafening roar, you will remain an immovable force. My beloved, we have walked through dark, suffocating valleys together before, but the season standing at your door will demand a radical, unprecedented depth of trust, a faith that goes far beyond anything you have ever mustered. Yet, in equal measure, it will unveil a radiant, staggering glory unlike anything your eyes have ever witnessed. That is why I am invading your reality right now, before the first drop of rain falls, before the first wave crashes against your life. Cling to my voice like a lifeline. Grip my promises with white-knuckled desperation, and lock your gaze relentlessly on me. I am your impenetrable shelter. I am your flawless navigator. I am your raw power, and I am the deafening peace that silences the chaos, the great shaking, purification, and protection. If you refuse to break stride with me, the coming storm will not annihilate you. It will forge you. It will sculpt you into a masterpiece of resilience, elevate you above the fray, and undeniably prove just how fiercely I have been guarding your steps all along. Hear me clearly, my child. The days that are rushing toward us will look nothing like the days you are leaving behind. A massive historic shaking is about to rip through the earth. It will fracture nations, redraw invisible lines of power, and, most importantly, it will violently shake the human heart. This seismic event will mercilessly expose everything that has been buried in the dark, both the corrupt secrets of this fallen world and the hidden hypocrisies within my own people. When the masses see the foundations crumbling, terror will become an epidemic, but you are forbidden to fear. I need you to grasp this reality. I have already stood in your future. I have already seen the trajectory of the incoming storm, and I have already carved out an untouchable sanctuary where you will stand in absolute safety. This shaking is not a weapon of your destruction. It is an instrument of your ultimate deliverance. It is designed to ruthlessly strip away everything artificial, temporary, and weak in your life, leaving behind only what is eternally true, fiercely pure, and diamond. Strong, I am your impregnable fortress when the earth violently gives way. I am your heavy iron anchor when the hurricane screams your name. You have just survived a long, grueling season of isolation. What felt like endless wandering was, in truth, a quiet, intense boot camp of the spirit. You may not have recognized my hand in the dark, but every agonizing delay, every crushing trial, and every excruciating moment of waiting was a calculated stroke of my chisel. I was not punishing you. I was building titanium strength into your spiritual spine. I was teaching you the dangerous art of blind trust, proving to you that my word stands like a monolith, even when the rest of your reality is disintegrating. None of your pain was wasted. The raw, tested faith you possess right now is a dormant seed, and the moment the storm breaks, it is going to erupt into a towering tree. You are about to discover that the grueling lessons I taught you in the shadows are the exact weapons that will guarantee your public victory. The war for your attention. Do not let your spirit be suffocated by the toxic noise of a panicking world. In the approaching days, 1,000 voices will scream for your attention. And I warn you now, the vast majority of them will be dripping with deception. A fog of deep confusion will roll across the earth, and many who lack a foundation will be effortlessly swept away into deception. But you will instantly recognize my frequency. Why? Because my voice, even when it delivers a severe warning, always carries an undercurrent of profound supernatural peace. You must stay aggressively close to me in prayer. Wrap yourself in my word just as a freezing traveler clings to a roaring fire in the dead of a winter night. Do not allow yourself to drift even an inch. The enemy's primary tactic against you will not be a frontal assault of destruction. It will be a covert war of distraction. He will attempt to drag your focus into the quicksand of fear, to drown you in endless hypotheticals and worldly anxieties. You must militantly guard the inner sanctuary of your heart where my absolute truth resides. Never let go. Let the relentless cry of your heart be, Lord, your word is my ultimate truth. Stand fiercely upon the scriptures I have given you. The collapse of illusions. Lean in and listen to me with absolute intensity. The velocity of the coming changes will take the breath away from humanity, and the world as you know it today will become unrecognizable. Monolithic institutions that society deemed invincible will tremble and crack. Systems of power and provision that seemed bulletproof will disintegrate before your very eyes. Those who have foolishly mortgaged their trust to mortal men, to bank accounts, and to fleeting earthly structures will find themselves completely bankrupt and paralyzed, not knowing where to run. But I am commanding you to run to me before the first crack appears. Secure your grip now so that when the ground gives way, your heart remains as steady as a beating drum. This shaking will not just rattle economies and governments. It will pierce the deepest, most concealed chambers of the human soul. It will serve as the ultimate litmus test, revealing where faith is a burning reality, and where it is merely a collection of hollow religious words. It will brutally expose the difference between those who walk the bloody, narrow path of truth with me, and those who only hang around my presence for the sake of comfort and convenience. I am speaking these heavy truths into your spirit today, so that when the ledger is opened, you will be counted among the fiercely faithful. Do not dare join the ranks of the superficial who scatter the second the fire gets hot. Grip the promises I have spoken over your life with the tenacity of a lion. I have never uttered a careless word. Every single syllable that leaves my mouth is an eternal guarantee, capable of upholding the universe, even when everything around you feels terrifyingly uncertain. I am about to prove my faithfulness to you once again, just as I have in every battle of your past. The call to arms, prayer as a weapon. You can already feel the atmospheric pressure of this impending shift in your spirit, can't you? That unrest, that heightened sensitivity, that is my spirit calibrating you for war. I am actively stirring a holy restlessness inside you. I am pushing you to pray with a ferocity you've never known, to chase after my presence relentlessly, and to ruthlessly amputate anything from your life that dilutes your spiritual strength. Do not ignore this holy agitation. The era of passive, lukewarm, half-hearted devotion is dead. The season of sitting comfortably on the sidelines of faith has officially expired. I am drafting you into active duty. I am calling you to match my stride, to stay hyper alert, and to keep watch on the walls. Understand this. Your prayers in this specific season are not merely religious rituals. They are kinetic weapons of mass disruption in the spiritual realm. They carry enough explosive power to violently push back the encroaching darkness trying to suffocate your city. Your genuine raw worship is a master key that will kick open iron doors that hell itself swore would remain shut forever. In the looming darkness, your unwavering trust is going to become a blinding lighthouse, drawing in desperate, broken people who have completely lost their way. I am also deploying an invisible shield around you, operating in dimensions you cannot even perceive. You will encounter moments where people suddenly change their minds, where bad situations mysteriously dissolve, and where circumstances dramatically pivot out of your way. In the moment, it might feel chaotic or confusing, but hindsight will reveal the stunning truth. It was my sovereign hand violently clearing a safe passage for you. I am not just charting a path of mere survival. I am orchestrating a highway that will catapult you directly into your greatest destiny. The harvest hidden in the hurricane, the enemy will whisper his toxic lies into your ear, trying to convince you that you are hopelessly out of your depth and utterly unprepared. That is a lie from the pit. I have been outfitting you for this exact battle long before you even knew there was a war. Every single tear that has burned your cheeks, every brutal betrayal you survived, every agonizing test of faith you endured, all of it was the crucible shaping you into the weapon you are right now. I know the moments you look in the mirror and feel dangerously small. I know the anxiety that tightens your chest when you contemplate the magnitude of what is shifting in the earth. But I declare to you today, you are not stepping onto this battlefield alone. I will march as the vanguard before you, clearing the traps. I will walk shoulder to shoulder beside you, guarding your flanks. I will stand as the rear guard behind you, securing your past. I will encircle you with an impenetrable wall of fire. Absolutely nothing will be permitted to touch your life unless I have personally calculated how to use it for your ultimate, explosive good. Even in the deafening roar of the hurricane, my whisper will cut through the noise, commanding, "This is the path. Walk here." You will know my presence is real because an unnatural, defiant peace will govern your heart while the rest of the planet drowns in panic. And hear this glorious paradox. Inside this terrifying shaking, I have hidden staggering, unprecedented blessings. Miracles you have violently wept and petitioned for over decades are about to materialize. They will not look the way you meticulously planned in your limited human mind. They will arrive in a form far superior, far more perfectly suited to the masterpiece I am making of your life. Deadbolts will snap off doors you thought were sealed forever. Fractured, seemingly irreconcilable relationships will experience a miraculous resurrection. The inner strength you believed was permanently drained from your soul will flood back with a vengeance. You will soon look back at your darkest, most agonizing chapters and realize that I was relentlessly in the background, weaving your pain into profound triumph. I am going to hijack the enemy's chaos and use the coming storm as an elevator to lift you into new spiritual altitudes. I am expanding your capacity to believe, transforming you into a living, breathing vessel of radical hope for a despairing generation. So do not you dare run from the horizon. Refuse to let the seeds of panic take root in the soil of your mind. Stand boldly in the fire of my presence. Lock your eyes onto mine with tunnel vision. Saturate every thought with my promises. Drop whatever I command you to release without a second thought, and grip the truth I hand you as if your life depends on it. Because it does. If you execute these commands, you won't just barely survive the coming apocalypse of human systems. You will emerge from the wreckage unburnt, battle-hardened, terrifyingly radiant, and more intimately fused to my heart than you ever dreamed possible. The future may look like a dark, vague threat to the world, but my fierce love for you is infinitely larger. The earth is about to violently convulse, but my iron grip will hold you utterly steady. When the dust finally settles and the smoke clears, you will look around and realize the profound truth. You were never actually in danger, because you were completely hidden inside of me. The line in the sand, my beloved warrior. There is still more I must impart to you. The countdown is nearly over, and I refuse to let you be caught off guard. The events about to unfold will defy all logic, science, and human explanation. The airwaves will be flooded with experts desperately trying to decode the chaos. Politicians and philosophers will engage in bitter, endless arguments over what it all means, but they will remain blind. Only those who have cultivated an intimacy with my voice will possess the spiritual encryption key to understand the absolute truth of the hour. You are going to witness whiplash, inducing changes, not only in the geopolitical landscapes of the earth, but in the very core of the people you interact with daily. The coming pressure will force everyone's hand. Some will run toward me with desperate, beautiful abandon, clinging to my altars. Others will allow the heat to bake their hearts into hardened, bitter stone. Do not let this sudden, harsh division rattle your faith. I have warned you in the ancient texts that as the final curtain approaches, the gray areas will completely evaporate. The brutal dividing line separating those who are authentically mine from those who are not will be illuminated by a glaring, undeniable light. I demand that you stand firmly in that light, regardless of the personal cost. You must aggressively choose my approval over the applause of the crowd. You must choose raw truth over the intoxicating drug of comfort. You must choose obedience over the paralyzing fear of loss. The cultural pressure to compromise will be astronomical. Society will demand that you soften your stance, that you blur the sharp edges of my truth to avoid conflict and maintain the status quo. Do not yield an inch. The fiery truth I have deposited inside your spirit was never meant to be hidden under a bushel for your private comfort. It is a blazing torch meant to illuminate the path for millions staggering blindly in the pitch black. Stay faithful, and I will supernaturally empower your vocal cords to be the steady, commanding voice of reason in a room full of hysterics. Let your actions echo a profound devotion. Let your life scream your gratitude and praise into the spiritual realm, letting every amen you declare be a weapon forged against the dark. The mechanics of preparation, if the sheer weight of this calling threatens to crush you. Remember my eternal protocol. I never dispatch you into a battle without stepping onto the battlefield with you. I will be the silent third party in every conversation you hold. I will dictate the rhythm of every step you take. I will be the architect behind every critical decision you make. I will literally place my divine vocabulary on your tongue and anchor my supernatural tranquility deep inside your chest. In the immediate future, my guidance will become shockingly literal. You will jolt awake in the dead of night, your heart pounding, with my exact directives burning in your mind. I will instantly teach you how to intercede for cities, nations, and strangers you have never even met. This is not a distraction. This is the advanced tactical training required for the impending season. Do not act shocked when I suddenly instruct you to sever ties and walk away from things in this current season. Certain friendships that once brought comfort, deeply ingrained habits, and outdated paradigms of thinking are simply too heavy to carry up the mountain I am calling you to climb. They no longer fit your destiny. Drop them immediately. Even if it rips your heart out and makes zero logical sense in the moment, you must remember that I possess the aerial view of your entire timeline. I know exactly what relationships will elevate you, and I know exactly which ones are Trojan horses designed to assassinate your purpose. If you love me enough to radically obey without demanding an explanation, time will vindicate my commands. You will eventually look back and see that every painful amputation I orchestrated was an act of aggressive love, designed to save your life and accelerate your growth. The refuge and the magnet. The world is about to enter a season of unprecedented storms that you have absolutely no power to control. The headlines will scream of rumors of war, catastrophic natural disasters, and violent civil unrest. You will watch in real time as humanity devolves into primal panic, making irrational, self-destructive choices driven by pure terror, sprinting toward false saviors and broken systems that have zero capacity to rescue them. But you, my treasured one, will not be left exposed to the elements. I am your impenetrable bunker. You are going to discover a wild phenomenon. As the world descends into hysteria, the inexplicable, terrifyingly calm peace emanating from your spirit will act as a magnetic force. Desperate people will be drawn to you. They will look into your eyes, see something wildly unshakable, and they will demand to know your secret. And you will look back at them with fierce conviction and declare, I am not afraid because my hope is anchored to the eternal God who cannot be moved. This is how, amidst the blood and ash of a chaotic world, you will become the ultimate evangelist, leading the shattered straight into my arms. Exposing the snare, I am handing you this intelligence briefing, so you can spot the enemy's tripwires long before you step on them. Mark my words. He will not try to destroy you with a catastrophic blow. He will try to slowly bleed your faith dry through weaponized distraction. If he can manage to hijack your attention with the endless scrolling noise of the world, paralyze you with chronic anxiety, or seduce you with the toxic pull of superficial desires, your spiritual armor will rust away before you even realize you've been compromised. This is the exact reason I am commanding you to guard your quiet time with me as if it were a vault of diamonds. In the deafening silence of my manifest presence, my voice is crystalline and sharp. But if you live in the cacophony of the culture, my whispers will be drowned out by the static. Make the brutal choice to disconnect from the chaos and sit in the stillness often. If you do this, deception will never be able to find a backdoor into your mind. I am not downloading these heavy prophecies into your spirit to terrorize you or paralyze you with a dread of the future. I am unveiling the blueprint so that you will be armed to the teeth, ready to march into whatever comes with a swagger of holy confidence. I hold the fabric of space and time, every ticking second of the future, in the palm of my hand. Not a single rogue atom can touch your life unless it first passes through my fingers. And if I allow it to touch you, it is because I have weaponized it for your ultimate victory and my staggering glory. Hear this promise. There are massive, earth-shattering victories waiting for you on the other side of this transition. The impossible breakthroughs you have cried over for years are about to detonate in your life. There will be pockets of blinding, ecstatic joy right in the dead center of the global shaking. I am prophesying this to you right now, so that when the impossible happens, you will immediately recall these exact words and know, with bone-deep certainty, that I am the sovereign king who orchestrated your triumph. Stay tethered to my side. Keep the soil of your heart aggressively pure. Wield the truth like a sword, but coat the blade in radical love. Trust the invisible reality of my promises far more than the temporary illusions your physical eyes show you. And above all else, do not let go of my hand. We are crossing the threshold into an era where the manifest presence of God is no longer just a theological concept. It is going to be your literal oxygen, your kinetic armor, and your ultimate reward. The earth is going to tilt on its axis. Society will fracture, but my fierce, burning love for you will not flinch. When the final tremor subsides, you will stand atop the rubble, completely intact, and you will see with your own eyes how I carried you through the apocalypse. The waves of reckoning, my precious child, do not tune out yet. My spirit is flowing heavily toward you, and you must absorb this final revelation. This monumental shift is not going to drop like a single atomic bomb. It is going to roll across the earth in calculated, unrelenting waves. The first waves will be deceptively subtle, washing over the culture almost unnoticed by the sleeping masses. But the waves that follow will be tidal forces, possessing enough kinetic violence to force the entire globe to stop, stare, and tremble. Every single wave is encoded with a divine mandate. Some waves are dispatched as smelling salts, designed to violently slap awake the hearts of a church that has fallen asleep in the lap of luxury, completely forgetting the God of fire. Other waves will act as wrecking balls, aimed directly at the colossal monuments of lies that have stood unchallenged for decades. You are going to witness the spectacular collapse of falsehoods, lies spoken flawlessly by charismatic leaders, lies institutionalized in the highest corridors of global power, lies that have wrapped around entire nations like a python, suffocating the truth and blinding the masses. You are going to watch these empires of deceit implode in real time. And when they do, you will know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the Lord of hosts has taken the field. The secular world will frantically try to label these events. They will call it a historic coincidence, a geopolitical crisis, or the catastrophic result of human incompetence. But you will possess the spiritual cheat sheet. You will recognize my unmistakable fingerprints all over the timing. You will see the brilliant, terrifying logic in how disparate events crash into one another. You will watch in awe as I drop blinding floodlights into the darkest, most corrupt cellars of the earth, where the wicked thought they could hide forever. When this happens, you are forbidden to cower in a corner. You are forbidden to retreat into silence. I want you to square your shoulders and remember your royal lineage. You were explicitly born for such a time as this. You were hand-picked out of eternity and dropped into this specific generation to act as a frontline witness to the raw power and overwhelming goodness of God. When society is bleeding out and desperate for anything real, do not you dare entertain the demonic lie that your life is too insignificant to make an impact. Every single defiant act of faith, every radical word of kindness spoken in a cruel world, every time you deliberately choose to trust me while your flesh screams in terror, it sends shockwaves through the cosmos. It builds an undeniable, towering monument of testimony that the broken world cannot help but see. You have no idea how many people are silently studying your life right now. But I see them. I see the skeptics watching to see if you will collapse into despair like the rest of them, or if you will actually wield the hope you sing about. I see the critics watching to see if you will choose the brutal grace of forgiveness over the easy poison of bitterness. I see them watching you drag your feet forward when the road is covered in broken glass. These silent choices will echo louder than the most eloquent pulpit sermon ever preached. They will be the undeniable proof that your life is anchored to a kingdom that cannot be destroyed. The commissioning there will be critical junctures where I will dispatch you as a sniper of the Spirit, sending you to speak directly into the shattered life of a specific person. It might not be a grand theological treatise. It might just be a simple, raw word of profound encouragement. It might be a whispered prayer in a chaotic grocery store aisle, or a piercing truth delivered at the exact second their soul was about to break. When you feel that holy nudge, execute the mission instantly. Do not overthink it. Do not hold back. You will undoubtedly feel entirely unqualified. But I do not need your qualifications. I will bypass your intellect and drop my own fiery vocabulary directly into your spirit. When those words leave your mouth, they will not just be sound waves. They will be infused with explosive divine power. They will surgically penetrate the hardened armor of the soul that human psychology could never scratch. You might not witness the harvest in that exact second, but make no mistake. Indestructible seeds will be planted, and in the days to come, they will violently tear through the soil. Now, I must speak to you of loss. Prepare your heart, but do not let despair taint your preparation. Not everything currently in your life is going to survive the shaking. But hear my heart. I am not removing things because I am an angry God looking to punish you or strip you bare. I am orchestrating a divine demolition to clear the real estate necessary for the massive upgrades I am bringing. You are going to lose certain career opportunities. You will lose friendships you thought were lifelong. You will lose familiar, comfortable environments. I will not lie. The extraction will burn in the moment. But if you fiercely trust my character, the dust will clear, and you will realize that every single agonizing loss was simply me bulldozing a shack to build a mansion. I am never reckless with what I allow to be taken from you. I never authorize a subtraction without actively preparing a massive, disproportionate addition. The people, the platforms, and the purposes I bring into the vacuum will be infinitely stronger, breathtakingly purer, and perfectly aligned with the staggering destiny I have written for you. I know the waiting room has been torture. I feel the agonizing tension tearing at you. The gap between the massive cinematic promises I have spoken over you and the mundane, frustrating reality you stare at every day. Embrace that tension. It is the kiln that fires the clay. That tension is intentionally designed to force your eyes off your own pathetic, limited strength and onto my limitless capability. Do not despise the waiting. Let it crush you deeper into my chest. Let it strip away your independence until you are hanging on every syllable I speak. Because a moment is rapidly approaching where the dam is going to break. The atmosphere will suddenly snap, and every single promise, every prophetic whisper, every delayed blessing I have spoken over your life is going to detonate into your reality all at once. The harvest will be so overwhelming, you will immediately fall to your knees and realize exactly why the long, brutal winter was absolutely necessary. Never forget who you are dealing with. Let your spirit sing that I am your song in the furious storm. I am the Creator who violently splits oceans in half. I am the God who steps into the roaring furnace and walks casually among the flames with his children. I am the Lord who snaps the jaws of the lion shut. Absolutely nothing is too difficult for me. The era that is crashing down upon us will shatter the fragile faith of millions. But it is precisely the stage I have set to unveil my staggering, undeniable glory in a way this planet has not witnessed in centuries. And you, my fierce, beloved child, are going to be on the front lines of that revelation, radiating my light. If you choose to lock arms with me and refuse to let go, so lift your chin, unclench your jaw, throw off the heavy blanket of fear, and lock your eyes on the King of Glory. Open your hands wide, keep them aggressively open to drop whatever I tell you is dead weight, and fiercely ready to catch the unprecedented outpouring I am about to unleash. Keep your spirit on a razor's edge. Keep your spiritual ears dialed to my frequency. Keep your heart soft, pliable, and ready for war. The shaking is not the tragic end of the story. It is the explosive, glorious prologue to a brand new world. When the storm finally breaks the horizon, you will look the wind in the eye and smile, knowing that my warnings were never threats to harm you, but divine intelligence designed to launch you into the absolute greatest chapter of your existence. Step forward, walk into the fire, hold unapologetically to the God who will never, ever let you fall.